And first, I'd just like to say I really appreciate all the support that you folks have given to our office, but I mostly want to say I really appreciate what your districts have done to help to support the Conflagration Act and the support to other communities. I kind of look at what we do as really bringing neighbors together to help other neighbors. So when you look at this group, and as I look at this group in front of me, and I look at, Kaiser and Springfield and Clatsop counties and Salem and Tualatin and Westland and Silverton, all of your folks within your district with the fire service have spent a really busy summer responding to help out those areas, the Dalles, to help out in Southern Oregon. And so again, I just wanted to say I really appreciate their support as well. So we kind of heard a little bit about Oregon Department of Forestry's responses to the incidences that they are responsible for. I want to kind of talk a little bit on the structural protection piece in the state of Oregon. We respond through the Conflagration Act, and kind of how that works is that a local fire district responds to that initial attack incident. Once it exceeds their capacity, they go to their mutual aid agreements, and so they draw on their neighbors as well. Once it exceeds their capacity, then they call the state. We contact the governor. The governor gives us the okay to go, and then we bring the state resources in to help to support those incidences. This year we had 10 conflagrations. Seems like an awful lot. 2002 we had 11. This is a record I do not want to break this year, so I'm hoping that the Klondike fire behaves itself and we don't have to make a response to the little community of Agnes, because that is a concern of ours at this time. I'm not going to go through each of those fires, all 10 of those conflagrations, but I would like to highlight a few of them. And the first one is the Graham Fire, and the reason why I wanted to highlight this is on average our first conflagration of the year is usually around July 27th. And if you take a look at this slide, this was June 21st, and this is starting to become the new norm. We're starting not to see fire season, we're starting to see fire year. And as most of you know, last year not only did we see fires in Oregon, but we saw fires in California, and again your resources spent 28 days in California on the Central LNU complex, which was the most devastating fire that California has seen, and then the Thomas Fire, which at the time was the largest fire that California has seen, and that's been exceeded this year, but your resources went there to support and help as well. The reason why I bring up the substation fire is Representative Post, you kind of talked a little bit about where these fires occur and who then has that jurisdictional responsibility for those. And the thing about the substation fire is where it started in Wasco County, there was no protection district or agency associated with that area of the incident. So that's what we would kind of call as unprotected, or at least does not have a formed fire department in that area. But because structures were burning and it was vivid on TV at that time, we were requested to go. And we'll talk a little bit about how this creates some other challenges for our office, because again the conflagration gives the ability to mobilize structural resources, and what we do is then again we protect structures. We've done a good job of training all of our folks on the operational side in both wildland and structural protection. My philosophy is if we can get out in front of it and stop it from getting to the structures, then we're doing our job in providing that defense. But with that said, again, we're mostly point protection around those communities, and Oregon Department of Forestry does that as well, but they also do the perimeter. So this was a big challenge for us because this was 80,000 acres, predominantly in wheat fields, down in canyons that you can't take most of your structural resources that you provide out there.